It has been 6 months since my first kill. Killing comes easily to me, as natural as breathing. Do I feel bad about it? Not really. The right question would be, do I feel anything at all? This book has uncovered to me the meaning of my life. It is a powerful tool. The number of hypocritical politicians has almost halved, not only in Poland, but all over the world. All warfare that was destroying our common home has been suspended. Some countries that were hostile towards each other even started helping one another. Everyone feels safe. There has also been intense selection in the lower structures of society. The topic of pedophiles, rapes, frauds, thefts, assaults, kidnappings, and serial killers has completely disappeared from the media, except from a few isolated cases. People talk about mysterious deaths, accidents, or disappearances, but that is not important now. Everything was necessary. I was chosen to change this world for the better, and I did just that. The world is now perfect. The biggest conundrum for me is whether people have rejected evil out of fear, or if they have realized how evil they actually are. That is what keeps me going. Even if the fear of evil is the reason why they chose for goodness, no one has entered the path of light of their own free will but under my control. This makes it seem that these people did not have sincere intentions. Are they also guilty? Are they also the heirs of evil? I keep fighting evil in my mind, but I began wondering if good and evil even exist at all after a few thousand murderous thoughts. Evil becomes good. Good is afraid to become evil, to not end up like it. I would call it something else, as long as she, framed in red, exists and helps me fulfill my needs. People around the world will continue to change their approach to life completely. I have realized that I have taken away everyone's free will with my decisions to impose my own choices upon them. Is that wrong? Is it wrong to achieve peace? Is it wrong that people now respect and understand each other and share other equally important qualities and behaviors that used to be close to extinction? If I am doing evil, then I must objectively state that the human race was not very well designed. My life has dramatically changed for the last 6 months. I will not stop on the details besides the fact that I have now moved to an apartment downtown. I had to do it, as I needed complete freedom and peace of mind in order to fulfill my mission. Sometimes, I was exhausted after not getting enough sleep. I am one of those people who cannot get out of bed without 8 hours of sleep, and this led me to decide that I would take a vacation one Wednesday in June to recuperate. On that day, I left my official job and my unofficial one, and that is the reason why nobody hanged themselves or cut their wrists. World, I am gracious. As it happens in life, our plans sometimes change. I cannot hide the fact that then, like on Christmas Eve morning, I exploded with a mixture of irritation, nervousness, and a few other filthy feelings buried deep inside. I was sound asleep when someone had to ring the doorbell. At first, I decided to ignore it. I figured that the person would eventually go away if I did not answer the door, but the person at the door was exceptionally stubborn. I got up, bursting with emotions from the inside again. I had so much pressure that a simple internet search would have easily concluded that it was the end of the line, or that he had been dead for 3 weeks. This is just a humble digression. Eventually I got up and opened the damn door. "Good morning?" A tall brunette greeted me in a pleasant voice that, despite its softness, was remarkably sure and piercing. "I'm listening to you. Can I help you with something?" I asked, hiding my frustration after the annoying interruption. "I think I can help you with something instead," he said, making me believe that there was something wrong with him, or it just seemed that way because I was still half asleep. "I don't understand you. Sir, I have no time for jokes. It's too early for me to guess. Say what you want to say and leave." "Early? It's noon. I won't go into it. but I must tell you that I'm incredibly excited to know that the book does have the memory of its previous owners. You see, in the same way, with the same words, I wanted to ask out the previous owner of the one in red. You're probably going to pretend you don't know what I'm talking about now. I did it too, and it was useless. Just let me in. We need to talk before you kill everyone who's trying to protect this world from overpopulation reduction. I have to admit that I was speechless. I opened the door wider in silence, signaling him to come in with a sign. He headed straight to the kitchen, as if he knew the apartment well. I sat down to his opposite side, wondering where to start the conversation. "I will be brief," the stranger said. "Have you ever heard about the Kardashev scale?" "No?" "Well, let me elaborate. The Kardashev scale, in a nutshell, is the technological advancement of civilization. That is one important point. The second point is that humanity is moving towards self-destruction every day, and you obviously know this, otherwise you wouldn't have received the book. It's a natural cycle. As we progress, the chance of apocalypse increases proportionately. There are 7 continents, and 3 of them deal with significant cards: North America, Europe, and Asia. Does this remind you of anything? A beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns. These continents are the other 3 horns. "Oh my God," I replied after briefly thinking. "Leave God out of this. It is already too late for that. 2012, 2016, 2017. Does that tell you something? The world has gone crazy. It cannot be angels, that's not what you're saying," I said, exasperated. "I don't have to push you or prove anything. I'm here to explain what you're going to face. You know that the Large Hadron Collider is being upgraded. Our information tells us that, once it is completed, and on the 3rd anniversary of its upgrade, our world will cease to exist. I would also like to mention that this upgrade will take place in exactly 1 year, 3 months, and 2 days. "You're fucked up," I replied promptly. "Have you been doing drugs? How do you know this? What do you mean by us? What connections does these things have? And how do you even know that I have the book?" Let me start with the last question. How do I know you have the book? Besides my detective skills, the defenders told me to look for the book. When I read in the news about the mysterious demolition of every house in a street of a suburb in Warsaw, I felt the need to investigate. Shortly after the incident, there were equally mysterious deaths near your house that looked like a fatal coincidence. Once you got rid of the neighborhood deviants, you decided to eliminate the unrighteous rulers. After you moved downtown, there were similar fatal coincidences in this neighborhood as well. So I conducted an interview pretending to be a cop, hiding behind made-up paragraphs and procedures. I checked the status of family members in every house on your street, and it turned out that one person moved to the exact spot where people started dying. That person was you. Figure out the rest. Now let's move on. I know that you're a little shocked. I was shocked too, but I'm not the one we're talking about now, so you need to listen. Something powerful and terrifying will be discovered after the collider is ready to go. This discovery will bring us to a higher stage of evolution. It will be the last planned stage of development for our world, and you have been told to kill everyone who was against modernization. Of course, they did it very sensibly. They could have started murdering specific people, and instead, they decided to protect themselves by weakening every political, industrial, and economic structures. You had to learn the basics in order to prepare you for the great plan. They allowed you to learn how to kill, and you did pretty well. You got the hang of it a lot faster than me, but without going into too much detail. We have been at war for a very long time with the white people. We are the ones who have freed themselves from their control, but you have yet to become one of us. And there is, of course, the opposition. They came to the earth long before Christ and the white people ever did to prepare the world for defense, but, as you can see, they did not success. The creation of the book changed the planned course of history. Every famous scientist in the world read it. when the book worked a little differently. It was supposed to get everything out of the scholars to push the stage of development further. It's very confusing, and I won't have enough time to explain everything. So, listen very carefully. If you decide to save the world, you will be forced to risk everything you have. The chase after you will begin if you fail to complete the next task on the last page, but we will help you. The defenders are watching over the whites, so they will know if the whites take any kind of step to recover the book and kill you. Right now, we do not know if you can be trusted. We, those freed from the directives of the white people, are only intermediaries, and it is up to us to accept you. Tonight, you will be receiving an assignment. If you choose the apocalypse, I will come back to you, and we will not have an opportunity to talk. You will be left unprotected, although we have methods to guarantee your safety temporarily. It's your choice. They love to put people in these situations, to sacrifice and manipulate our desires. Both always end badly. You will lose if they choose you, but if you fight with us, we can at least weaken their structures. Choose according to your conscience. I hope that when we meet again, it will be in a larger group like us. You're talking about the apocalypse, white people, and defenders. So, let's assume for a moment that I believe you. Can't we just kill these guys and burn the book? The problem would be easily over and done without having to deal with these theatrics, maintaining the state of the world would as it is, good, without evil. First of all, he replied, the book cannot be destroyed, at least not on Earth. The book is not magical, but the result of the most advanced technology. It precedes our technology by approximately about 3,000 years, and you don't even see this kind in sci-fi movies. I won't explain everything because it is not the time or place to do so, and I have told you more than I should have anyway. I suppose Perival, that will teach me a lesson for that. Secondly, it is not easy to kill them. There would have to be a confrontation between them and the defenders, and just by considering their superiority to all of us and everything created in this world, the consequences of that confrontation could be something that the defenders are trying to avoid. It would be the apocalypse. I paused for more questions and opinions as I got up to walk towards the window. I saw my face in the reflection and saw tragedy, as if I had seen a ghost. I took a few deep breaths before asking him, "How do I know which is the wrong side? You could be the one trying to manipulate me into opposing the good ones." "Right. The world is better. Everything's perfect. Joining you and abandoning the mission would put the world back on the wrong path, and my work would be in vain. What is your position? You don't have to trust me. I don't require it. I did not come here to convince you, but to present you the situation, the full picture. You have to find out the rest for yourself. Give up the next task, and then you will know right from wrong. Then why don't you simply kill me and take the book to your protectors? That way, you can get rid of a minion and a tool. You can protect the world from more murders while saying bye-bye to the apocalypse." When I turned around, the mysterious visitor was gone as the scent of mystery continued lingering in the air throughout the apartment. In the evening, I received further clues from the authors. One of the American generals was going to die, and all I had to do was to plan his death. I had done it hundreds of times before, so it was very easy for me, but something stopped me from doing it. My desire to create a paradise on Earth had been disrupted. I figured that, if I was the chosen one, they would not do anything to me if I refused to complete task. And with that thought in mind, I closed the book and threw it under my bed to lay down and collect my thoughts until I heard my alarm clock. I was unable to sleep during the night because of the stress and the certainty that something was coming, even though I did not know what it was. On my way to work, I realized that my mysterious visitor was telling me the truth. I got a message while I was driving. I do not usually do this, but I decided to pull over to the side of the road this time, as my gut was telling me that it might be something important. I was not wrong. I got a picture of my family, bound and gagged in a basement. It was the white people. The message did not display, and I did not see a number, but it was enough for me to know that this was their doing. They reminded me that they were everywhere, and they were watching me. They wrote that, if I wanted them back, I had to go undercover and join the servants of the defenders in order to kill them. No further advice or indications. I had to make a choice to save my family or the mysterious organization, sector association, or whatever I had to call them. The good of the world or the good of my loved ones. I would have to find out how things will turn out and what I would be forced to do, and that future will come sooner than I expect.